So when's the last time you got on social media and you've seen a post, a comment, a meme that you disagreed with initially, and upon reading, comment, or viewing the meme, you changed your mind? I'm waiting. You haven't. Um, Very, very difficult to do so. A couple different reasons. You have your own viewpoints, which is fine. And most of us don't want to understand anybody else's viewpoints. We want to be, we want to have confirmation bias, confirm what we believe is accurate. And anything that opposes our existing worldview, we shun. And we're not good at debating different topics. These sites or these platforms are designed for very, very short interaction and to devolve the conversation. Why do you think like the long form podcasts like Joe Rogan are so popular? Is because you get to flush out many, many details and many, many viewpoints, and people get to explain what they meant, why they feel certain ways. You cannot do this in 270 characters. And so my thought is the last time that I get on Facebook or Twitter, it seems like it's just a bunch of children arguing. There's no real debate. Nobody changes their mind. And then inevitably, it just ends up in name calling and being ugly. And it just leads to a further divide. So there's so many challenges out here of doing stupid stuff. Why don't we start a challenge of being nice? Let's start a challenge of, trying to listen to other people's opinions and actively taking them in and saying, hey, I see why you feel the way you feel. I may disagree with it, and here's why I disagree with it. People don't like to read, don't have time to read, or don't like to read long posts on Facebook for you to be able to really flush out your opinion. And even when you do post a long comment or a long thread, most people don't understand what you mean. So my thought is, why don't we start a challenge of videoing our opinions on a given topic? Give a couple, 3 or 4 different points of why you believe what you believe. Explain yourself as clearly as you can. And then if somebody agrees with you, they can, video comment back of why they agree. They can partially agree and tell you, hey, have you thought about this viewpoint? Or have you thought about it from this perspective? And if somebody fundamentally disagrees with you, explain why. Let them explain why. But without name calling, without being ugly. Most of the time we get on Facebook and again, you just see a bunch of children arguing over nothing. We're not accomplishing anything, and all we're doing is dividing ourselves. So my thought here is take a given topic that typically divides people. Let's use Roe versus Wade. I'll give you my opinion and why I feel the way that I feel. And if you agree with me, great. If you disagree with me, send a video comment back why. Give me an example, a heartfelt, real world experience example. If it devolves into name calling, just delete the comment because it's not solving anything. And all we're doing is dividing ourselves. And the first thing to having a country destroyed is dividing ourselves. Look at Germany, look at Russia, look at Venezuela, haves versus have-nots, the Jews versus the Nazis, the Bolsheviks versus the Orthodox. It's the same. It's always divide. So if we have any hope in saving this country, we're going to have to listen to one another. The politicians don't give 2 shits about you. They don't give 2 shits about me or our opinions. They actually use those opinions to divide us, and they care less. So let's look at a given topic that's popular right now. Roe versus Wade. I'll explain why I disagree with certain things and agree with certain things. Now let's get your opinion. So the Supreme Court's decision to overturn Roe versus Wade, I agree, is an accurate portrayal of what's supposed to happen. Nowhere in the Constitution does it mention anything about the right to an abortion. Okay, so you can argue that, it wasn't listed, so I can do what I want. Well, and that's fine as far as your opinion there. But the federal government has no power to confirm or deny that. And that's what the Supreme Court's decision showed, is that it's not in the Constitution. Those powers are not given to the federal government. And so it's left to the states. If you disagree with that, talk to your congressman, talk to your senator, talk to your governor, right? That's how it's supposed to work. It has nothing to do with the federal government. They don't have power. If it's not expressly permitted within the Constitution, that power is not theirs. Now, on the topic of abortion, right? There's all kinds of different reasons that people say that they need an abortion. Okay, I'll give you some examples of why I fundamentally disagree with abortion. I fundamentally disagree with abortion on all levels except for medical necessity. Ectopic pregnancy, for an example, and I'm sure there's others. But unless it's a medical necessity that the mother is facing certain death, I fundamentally disagree with it. And I'll explain why. Between our oldest child and my daughter, we had 3 miscarriages. And if you've never seen a mother or been a husband to a woman who has lost a child, you have absolutely no idea what that does. You have no idea how helpless you feel. You have no idea the hurt and pain that causes them. So when we get pregnant with my daughter, the OB, we ran multiple tests. We had already lost 3 babies, and we ran multiple tests trying to make sure that she was going to be okay and healthy. At one time, they told us that she wasn't going to have legs. Then they told us that she may not have arms. And then they told us that it's a 90% certainty she was going to have Down syndrome. No less than 3 or 4 times, at least 3 times, maybe 4, the OB asked us if we wanted to terminate the pregnancy. And aside from just trying to snap this woman's neck, we were steadfast saying, absolutely not. We will deal with it however it comes. If you've seen my daughter, you'll know that she is a beautiful soul. She is extremely healthy. She has no issues. And had we listened to the doctor saying, oh, her life might be hard. Oh, she may not have legs. Oh, you may have to deal with a special needs child, we wouldn't have that beautiful girl. As for the topics of rape and incest, okay, this is a very, very big challenge, because this is something that I feel that if my daughter was ever raped, you know, that's a hard task to ask her to have to deal with that child, right? To relive that pain every time you see that child. However, I'm torn on this topic because this is a topic that's near and dear to my family, because there was a rape within my family. And had the person in this family had chosen to get an abortion, half of my family wouldn't be here. A whole generation of people would not be here. And that's a hard topic, because if you're going to ask that, men are going to have to stand up. Men are going to have to stand up, and they're going to have to understand that it's a family, it's a life. Regardless of how that child was conceived, it's in this world, and it deserves every opportunity that we can give it. And maybe it's too much for you to hold, too much for you to handle. You can't raise that child, and that's fair. So, but there's all kinds of families out there that have fertility issues, that are praying for a child to raise. Just because that child was conceived through evil doesn't mean its life has to be evil. Doesn't mean that it has to suffer. There's all kinds of loving families out there. And I truly think that if we get back to this, and we get back to the understanding that this is a human life, and we stop being ugly, and we step up as men and women, yes, men and women, that's a different topic that we can talk about, and we raise our children to understand that human life is valuable. It's extremely valuable. I think we'll be better off as a society. Our opinions are important, and we need to listen to each other's opinions. So why don't we start this challenge? Send it out, share, right? Like, comment, create your own opinions. And if you agree with me, great. Tell me why. If you agree with partially and you want to give me a different perspective, I'll listen. And if you fundamentally disagree with me, tell me why. But be nice. Have a good day.